They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a Tuesday Newsday live video. And yes, I come up with crazy names sometimes to do things like these. Now, I'm hoping I can do this, like, I don't know, possibly every Tuesday. Go live with a couple things that are going on within the gaming industry, within the gaming community, stuff to talk about. I am on my headset microphone, so I get to kind of sit back, relax, and talk to you guys. What is going on, RG Viper? It is good to see you. I swear, I haven't seen that name in a while, man. So it is extremely good to see you, bro. Guys, we are going to go in and we are going to talk about, first off, we're going to talk about Digital Foundry and the Gears 5 kind of like upgrade for the Series X, the Gears 5 Series X patch, Series S patch. Digital Foundry, they weren't able to test with the Series S, but they did some testing when it came to the Series X, and they were able to talk to developers, stuff like that. And of course, social media has been on fire ever since their video dropped. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to touch base on a few things that, you know, that I caught within the video. We are going to go more in depth on Thursday for next podcast, which is going to be really cool. You're going to hear, people's opinions of that, but I'm kind of using this time and kind of grabbing kind of like that first information I heard and kind of expressing my opinion on that with you guys. Not only that, I am going to talk about Demon Souls for the PS5 as well. I know people were getting a little crazy about native resolution when it came to that game. There is something I want to talk about with that game as well. Hey, yo, what is up, Electron Bandit? I like that name. I really, really like that name. Yo, Cali Rex, what is going on, bro? Good to see you. Yeah, Cali, when these first start, I don't have like a starting soon type scene where you don't get a lot of music and stuff like that in the beginning. So it takes some people some time to get in and to check out these videos, which is really, it's, that's all good, man. I kind of go live pretty quick when it comes to these live videos, as opposed to the podcast where I try to kind of really build out a scene for you guys with the starting soon, the intro, and the intros kind of like scene and stuff like that. So, but these are more kind of like down home, kind of like a little bit less production value. I will say I hope you guys like the gameplay. I was streaming Sunset Overdrive, I believe it was yesterday, and I was collecting gameplay from that. Not only that, I played Peggle 2 with one of the 13-year-olds and had a lot of fun with that. You'll probably see gameplay of that on next podcast this Thursday. But yeah, so guys, I hope you're having a good Tuesday, and I know it's election day. I know there's a lot of stress levels and stuff like that out there. I hope you guys are having a nice, cool, calm day. I know gaming Twitter has been going kind of crazy today, and it's for this first subject. All right, so before I get into it, guys, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Share this stream out. Let people know, because I'm not going to be live for like all day here. But I wanted to get kind of like my first thoughts, my first impressions. Ice Queen, what is going on, girl? Good to see you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yo, Viper, auto HDR on Sunset Overdrive, because, dude, let's be honest, Sunset Overdrive, one of the most colorful games this generation without HDR. It is a game that screams high dynamic range color. dude, it screamed a 1X patch that for some rhyme or reason it never got. So, unfortunately, it's pretty much my favorite game this generation. I do play a lot of Destiny 2. I did play a lot of Halo 5. But in terms of like overall entertainment, story wise, gameplay wise, sense of humor, stuff like that, Sunset Overdrive is right up there in my opinion. Yo, what is up, So Shady? Good to see you, bro. A moderator here, so is Shizno Elite. What is up, brother? I hope you are doing well as well. For people who don't know, yeah, I've had some medical issues that I've been trying to get kind of like figured out and diagnosed and stuff. And, I'm still going to doctors and all that good stuff and trying to figure out what's going on. But as far as, the test that I've had so far has come back clear. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep doing what I do, man. So and it's really good to see you guys in here. Again, we are going to be talking about Gears 5 and kind of like what Digital Foundry said about the performance when it comes to the Series X. And again, like I went through and I watched the video a couple times, but I'm gonna grab the stuff I caught quickly. Yeah, Ice Queen. Yo, Ice Queen, I will let you know you are definitely in my prayers. I am gonna say another one for you. Um, I hope everything works out. I think everything's gonna work out. I am a man of faith, though. I always try to think positive, and I always feel like at the end of the day, things are gonna work out. So So yeah, we're all rooting for you, Ice Queen. And again, if you ever need anybody to talk to, I am a DM away on Twitter. If ever gets really crucial and you need to talk to somebody like pretty much in person, you need to hear a voice, let me know. I will send you my phone number, my cell phone number, and we stick together. We are a family, all right, Ice Queen, and that's what we do. What is up, Harsh Mystery? I like how you spelled mystery too. By the way, it seems so easy to say. He said, "I think I subbed you from that Trash King podcast." I don't even know. King Thrash? Are you talking about? Because I had never even been on his podcast. I don't think. Yeah, I think it's King Thrash, yo. But I like the how you spelled Harsh Mystery. I think that's really cool. Very creative right there. But guys, let's start getting into the subject, all right? And as usual, hit that thumbs up button if you like what you're hearing. Share this out, let people know that we are live right now talking about Gears 5 with the Series X, and we are going to be talking about Demon Souls, a certain aspect of Demon Souls, some news that came out within the past few days that I actually expected it to go the direct opposite way. So, with that being said, there is stuff to talk about. If you want to support the channel, you can always hit that super chat, or you can always join and become a member. That's one thing when it comes to this channel. I am not shy in letting people know. I hope and pray that I can make this my everyday job. I'm not trying to get rich off this whole thing. And I won't do any of those kind of like tactics to try to gain subscribers. I always try. I'm genuinely Xbot. I am genuinely who I am, and I'm not going to change that for anything. But if you want to support the channel, you want to get it, that much closer to me, just totally focusing on gaming news content as a job, you can always become a member of the channel. Now, with that being said, let's get into Gears 5 because Digital Foundry came out. And what's funny about the Digital Foundry video? I've seen a lot of people on social media talking a lot of crap about it. But when you watch the video, Digital Foundry had a lot of really good things to say about the performance of Gears 5 on the Series X. And again, they couldn't test it on the Series S. And they want to do that. So, unfortunately, they said they didn't have one at that point in time. But they went in with some details. And, what is up, Juan Castillo? Good to see you, brother. the first thing that they talked about, of course, was resolution. And I'm looking at it. I got it paused right now on the TV. Xbox Series X has a dynamic resolution going as low as 1080p, but as high as 2160p or 4K. Now, I've seen people on Twitter, talking about the low end mark, the 1080p mark. Now, one thing I want to tell you guys is within this video, which I should have put in the description below. Ice Queen, thank you so much for becoming a member. I definitely appreciate that, especially with everything going on right now. You did not have to do that, lady. Oh my goodness. Yo, like I don't know if a tear is gonna come out of my eye. Like, yo, that's crazy. Thank you, Ice Queen. Um, but let's get back into it. This is what people want to hear. They want to hear about this dynamic resolution from low 1080p to high 2160p. So standard HD to 4K. All right, and Digital Foundry goes on to say that the average is about a little over 1700p. All right. So, with that being said, there's a lot of people focusing on the 1080p. Digital Foundry said there is not many instances where the dynamic resolution does go as low as 1080p. That was the absolute lowest that they saw. So that was bottom of the barrel when it came to frames that they saw. It's not down there at all, like a lot at all. It averages a little over 1700p, which, when you look at how this game was made, seems pretty reasonable to me, in terms of this game doing the dynamic resolution. Now, they say with the Series S, which is pretty much the Xbox One S replacement, but for next gen, you're looking at as low as 720p, as high as 1440p, basically putting the Series S right where Xbox said. 1440p being like that high resolution for that $300 entry level system. And again, not being at 720p. If you're going to look at, the Series X resolution and the lowest being 1080p, and what they said about that, with it not being there very often, not being at that lowest rung of the resolution ladder that often, then you got to kind of think that the Series S is the same way. The 720, it's not there a lot of the time. I think they put the Series S in terms of average resolution anywhere between the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. All right. But not only that, with the Series S, yes, you have that lower resolution, but you're getting the same graphic fidelity and the same frames per second that you are getting with the Series X. So with the Series S, it'll be lower resolution, but you will get the same graphic fidelity, the same graphical textures, and all that good stuff. The advanced shadowing, the advanced shadows, the more advanced shadows, the better textures, the better ambient lighting, and all that good stuff. You get all that good graphical goodness, but just with a lower resolution. You get the same frames per second when it comes to 60 frames per second with the campaign, including cutscenes, which is something that only the PC had, before we started talking about the Series X and the Series S. The PC had 60 frames per second cutscenes, and now the Series X and the Series S will have the same thing. So the only thing that you are looking at here is a dynamic resolution situation. And then when it comes to the Series S, which is a $300 entry-level system, you're still getting all the graphics and all the performance in terms of the frames per second. Guys, I think that's awesome right there. Can you believe that? With the Series S, how small it is, and the only thing that you're getting is a lower resolution on Gears 5. All the other graphical upgrades are going to be in the Series S and the frames per second. See, so I don't understand why people are really bugging out here. I don't understand why they're focusing on the lowest rung of the dynamic resolution. because even Digital Foundry said it's not at the 1080p for that long at all. They even gave an average of over 1700p for the people who do count P's. And that's another thing about this is I thought resolution didn't mean anything anymore with all the upscaling techniques and stuff like that. So it was kind of weird to see people pointing out resolution when it came to Gears. Now, Digital Foundry did say a couple things. Like when it came to cutscenes, it seemed like the frames per cutscene, there was a 33 millisecond delay as opposed to a 16 millisecond delay, which created the feeling of stutter within the cutscenes. Yeah, Ice Queen, I'm not getting a next gen console either right now. It's probably going to be next year at some point in time. Yo, Shane Tomlin, yo, for hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother. I definitely hear you. Makes me laugh. I thought resolution didn't matter anymore. And dude, that's what I thought as well. You know, when it came down to it, I thought it was about, you know, the games, the graphics, the immersion. But with seeing this whole kind of like the lower part of the dynamic resolution, I've seen people running with it. And, you know, I'm not judging those people. I'm just putting out what I think is true here. You know, what I heard Digital Foundry say, the things that I think some people are omitting. You know, I'm not trying to put anybody under the bus. I'm just trying I don't give receipts. I don't do all that. I'm just trying to put out exactly what Digital Foundry said. All right. So, yo, what's going on, Dark Optimus? Good to see you, brother. So with that being said, again, there was some issues. Now, one of them was within the cutscenes themselves. It seemed that there was a 33 millisecond delay as opposed to a 16 millisecond delay, which, you know, the guys over at Digital Foundry said it created a sense of stutter to the eye. Like it didn't feel natural. Not only that, during traversal, traversal, right? When you're riding that wind kind of like that wind sail and you're traversing across like the red sand and stuff, that 33-second delay happened then as well. Yo, Dark, we'll see Thursday because we're going to be talking about this Thursday as well. But even in those areas where you're using kind of like the parasail machine and whatnot, there was that 33-second delay as well. They talked to the developers about it because, you know, with the game, you know, running off an SSD with the CPU power, the GPU power of the Series X, Digital Foundry couldn't understand why that delay was happening while you were on this machine and going across the desert or going across the snow. And the developer said it's actually a bug due to the lower latency technology that they are using when it comes to the Series X and the Series S. So they are actually working on a patch for that now. From the way they were talking, they already have it situated, and they're just working on getting that patch up and ready to go, and to have that whole kind of like 33 millisecond latency delay fixed. So, you know, they know what's going on there, and they should have it straightened out. So, guys, what do you think? Now, Anthony Chipmunk in the chat says Gears 5 is his game of the generation. You're seeing gameplay of what I feel is my favorite game this generation, Sunset Overdrive. Even though you guys, you know me for Halo 5, you guys know me for Destiny 2 as well. But Sunset Overdrive, just like the whole atmosphere of this game, I thought it was an absolute blast. I didn't play it as much as you know, I wanted to because there were other games as well. Like, and I felt like, you know, I had to give other games. And then Destiny 2 kind of drew me in for so long. But absolutely love Sunset Overdrive, one of my favorite games this generation. But guys, what do you think about this Gears 5 patch? Do you see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, people are taking that lower dynamic resolution, the lower rung, which Digital Foundry says it's not even there a lot of the time. That's just the lowest that they saw it go. And they're taking the 1080p for the Series X, and they're taking the 720p for the Series S, and they're just absolutely running with it, guys. But I do suggest going and watching that video for yourself. There's a lot of awesome kind of like information. There's a lot of subtle improvements when it comes to the textures, when it comes to the the kind of like improved shadows, ambient lighting, um, that when you put them all together, it makes a really nice presentation, a really nice graphical presentation. And of course, when it comes to Gears 5 multiplayer, for the people who can do 120 frames per second, you will be able to do that in multiplayer with the Series X and with the Series S as well. Yo, what is going on, Wild Baits? Blue Moon, what is going on, guys? Yo, seeing so many people in here right now, absolutely amazing. Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and let people know where you are right now. We did get through the whole Gears 5, in talking about the improvements in performance and graphics. Just real quick, we will be going over that again on the next podcast. So definitely tune in Thursday, 7 p.m., because we're going to go in and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to get the opinions of the panel. And my brother Tally Rex will be a guest on the next podcast this Thursday as well. So it's going to be a really good show. So let's talk about the second part of the thumbnail. All right, let's talk about Demon Souls, because a lot has been said about Demon Souls. It is one of those games highly anticipated on the PlayStation 5 platform as well. I know a lot of people were talking about the native resolution, and I don't understand why. First off, 1440p upscaled to 4K. I don't see a problem with that whatsoever. Again, I've been one of those people that resolution is not a big deal to me anyway. I've been saying that for I don't know how long. Since the whole resolution debate, resolution gate, kind of killed the hype for Sunset Overdrive, and it killed the hype for Quantum Break. And I was like, I don't understand why, because these games are awesome, but people were really kind of like, oh, but it's not 1080p at that point in time. So, ever since then, I haven't really gotten into resolution. So now Demon Souls is going to be 1440p native on the PS5, which I do not have a problem with. Anybody out there, you can let them know. I go on record. I have no problem with the resolution of that. Now, the thing that I saw was this game is not going to have ray tracing, which I am a little confused about. And there's a reason why. When I look at the Demon Souls remake, it reminds me of another remake that came out for the PS4. Now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. All right, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I really relate the Demon Souls remake to the Shadow of the Colossus remake, where what they did is they went in and they boosted everything graphically, but they kept the gameplay mechanics and the gameplay assets the same as the original game. Now, when it came to Shadow of the Colossus, a lot of people said the graphics, the textures looked absolutely amazing. Some of the complaints about it were, and for the people who did complain about it, was the fact that it had the original gameplay mechanics in it, that they didn't liven up the world a little bit more as well. Things like that, which go back to the original kind of like coding of the game. Now, I'm trying to put this out there so hopefully everybody can understand it. So basically, brand new coats of paint all the way around, graphically looking incredible. At the core of the game, the same gameplay mechanics, even the same coding for the gameplay mechanics that were in Shadow of the Colossus. And I believe they are doing that the same way with Demon Souls. Now, with Demon Souls, there's a lot of cool things as well. All right, when it comes to like they talked about being able to kind of like hear and feel with the controller, like arrows buzzing by your ear and stuff like that, using the different kind of like the different features of the DualSense. I think that is really awesome. I am excited for people who want to get in on that day one and go in. I think that's going to be really cool for you guys. When it comes to the ray tracing part, though, This is the part I don't understand, because if they are making this game the same way that they made Shadow of Colossus, and again, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, if they are not doing it this way. This is how I am reading it, though, where at the core they have the same kind of gameplay mechanics. I know the developers came out and said they really don't want to change a lot in terms of the gameplay. Um, and then they're putting everything else. They're putting the power and stuff like that into the graphics. So with that being said, I don't understand how ray tracing would be too demanding for a game that is built this way. And I hope you guys see what I'm saying, because if at its core it's got the same gameplay mechanic code as the original PS3 Demon Souls game, then they have a lot that they can write in for graphics, and they've done it. Trust me, I know they the game does look absolutely incredible. I would not expect it. I wouldn't expect it to not look incredible if it's made the same way as Shadow of the Colossus was, because even with Shadow of the Colossus, like, the way the game looked was never a complaint to anybody, you know? And when it comes to Demon Souls, if they are using the original PlayStation 3 code, then they have a lot that they can write in graphically, and I don't understand why they wouldn't put in ray tracing. I don't understand that. Again, guys, in the chat, if I said something that's kind of like off base, if I said something that something different, please let me know. Just because I'm on YouTube doesn't mean that I automatically know more than the next person. And this is the way I am reading this situation. I am looking at it like Shadow of the Colossus, where it is an older game, a beloved game that people want to keep kind of like the same gameplay mechanics, but they want the graphics. They want the graphics up to date. They want it to look like a current gen game. It isn't running the old code. That's why it is a remake and not a remaster. But wasn't Shadow of the Colossus considered a remake as well? Let's see. Lethal Migraine. I haven't thought about Xbox 448. Sony no longer has a place in my home. They have nothing for me. Well, I got you, Migraine. And the thing about that is everybody has differences of opinions. And that's the way you feel, brother. And I'm gonna respect that. I just feel that if they are doing this to the point where they're not adding any type of gameplay mechanic, and they're trying to keep the mechanics as close as possible to the PS3 game, the original game, I don't understand why they would say it would be too demanding for something as ray tracing. We've seen Ratchet and Clank with ray tracing. That game looks incredibly demanding. We've seen Miles Morales with ray tracing. We've seen Watch Dogs Legion with ray tracing on the Series X. And all those games look a lot more demanding than Demon Souls. You guys see what I'm saying here? Now, I know at the end of the day, it's a small thing to talk about. Let's be real. It's a small thing to talk about. The game's good. People are going to talk about the gameplay over anything else. But I just think it's really weird. I think it's really ironic that people just kind of accepted it that, no ray tracing, that's fine. And again, if they are trying to keep the gameplay and the gameplay mechanics pretty much the same as the PS3 version, I would think that there is a lot of code there that they can put in towards graphics, and I think that there would be code there for ray tracing. So that's pretty much what I feel about that. Unfortunately, when it came to the first topic, Gears 5, people looked at the dynamic resolution, and they pointed out the lowest common denominator, which on the Series X is 1080p and on the Series S is 720p. And there are people out there trying to spin it that is what that's what those systems are doing for the Gears 5 game, which isn't true. Absolutely isn't true. What is up, Mojo? Mojo, are you home yet? I think that is the big question right now. Are you home out of the hospital? How are you doing, brother? It is good So good to see you in the chat. What is up, Jesse? Good to see you, brother. Anthony Chipmunk, of course. Great one. What is going on? Let's see. Now, Great One says they have the low-end ray tracing and they're running at 30 frames on PS5. They already said ray tracing is not impressive, but Digital Foundry didn't say they didn't have ray tracing in Demon Souls. Okay, so I guess we're going to talk about this as well on Thursday for next podcast. And again, my brother Cali Rex will be a guest. And I believe K Mega will be coming back because he has power at his house as well. So we are going to have a full panel this Thursday, 7 p.m. for the next podcast. I think it's going to be a good show. We are working on topics. I know Dark Optimus and Cali Rex in the DM, they were just throwing out topics, man. It was really awesome. So we're going to have a lot of topics to kind of like trim down and try to get into like a 2-hour show, which with next podcast, that is a challenge. But I am really excited. For that show. One thing that is also off subject that I want to let you guys know for people who follow this channel, and if you don't follow this channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, but every Sunday we do the Series X podcast, which is a podcast where we only talk about Xbox. There's no talk of other platforms. There's no it's all just Xbox in the show and also in the chat. All right, Ice Queen, no doubt. But on this week's Series X podcast, we will have guests for the first time, and I get to announce who both of those guests are right now on this live show. And for the Series X podcast coming this Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, we will be joined by my brother Dragonheart Yobi, awesome guy in the community. He wanted to be the first guest on the Series X podcast, but we're not just having one guest. The next guest on the list for this Sunday, going to hang out with me and Jamie Moran, is Randall Thor. So we are going to have Dragonheart Yobi and Randall Thor on this Sunday's next podcast. This Sunday's Series X podcast. Guys, it was bound to happen. I was bound to mess up the names at one point in time. But yeah, so this Sunday, Series X podcast, Randall Thor, Dragonheart Yobi will be joining me and Jamie. And then this Thursday, we will have Cali Rex on the next podcast. So, we have packed shows coming up this week. But yeah, guys, as usual, when it comes to the topics, again, let me know. For people who are in the chat, let me know what you think about the whole Gears 5 and what people are running with. Let me know if you watched the Digital Foundry video. If you see what I'm saying, where even Digital Foundry was saying that the 1080p resolution and the 720, well, they basically said the 1080p resolution because they haven't tested the Series S out yet when it comes to Gears 5. But they said that was just the lowest resolution that they found the game running at, and it wasn't there often at all. So, and let me know what you think about Demon Souls, guys. I do like the features that they're talking about with the DualSense controller. I think graphically the game looks amazing. But, in terms of ray tracing, I think this is a game that should have it. Because we're seeing games like, again, Spider-Man Miles Morales. We're seeing Ratchet and Clank. We're seeing Watch Dogs Legion, all with ray tracing. I wouldn't understand why Demon Souls would not have that feature in this game for the PS5. Yeah, definitely, Chipmunk. If you want, Chipmunk, I think we're following each other on Twitter. Just send me a DM. Let me know if you need the link to the video. Actually, I can actually pull it up now. Hold on. Guys, you know what I'll do? I will pull up the video now, and I will put it in the chat. Why didn't I think of this before, guys? Sometimes, could be a little slow here. but I do catch up. Let me grab the link. Oh, hold on. I was trying to grab the link like I was pulling it off my phone. It's so awesome. All right, guys, here is the link to the Digital Foundry video. So feel free, go ahead and click that and check it out. That's pretty much it for this video today. We went through the 2 topics. I let you guys know about the special guests that are coming on the next podcast and the Series X podcast today. Huge shout out to everybody who was hanging out with me today. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I words can't explain how much I appreciate everybody coming out and hanging with me, even with the game streaming, because I'm not known as a streamer, but playing Rocket League, playing Halo 5, playing Sunset Overdrive, seeing people come and hang out with me and have a good time while I'm streaming these games, absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Definitely check out that Digital Foundry video, and as you come up with your opinions and stuff like that, hit me up on Twitter. It's at xbot448. Let me know what you think about that video. Let me know if you see what I saw in that video as well. But let me wind this down. So thank you guys again so much for hanging out with me. And unless I'm streaming a game or something, I will see you guys Thursday for the next podcast. Have an awesome Tuesday. And remember, I know it's a crazy day today. Don't go crazy out there, all right? I don't want to see any of your YouTube names in the news with some type of craziness, all right? Yo, Cybernox, thank you so much, brother. Guys, have a great Tuesday. Keep it safe out there. And unless I'm streaming a game, I will see you Thursday. Later, everybody.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems.